this is no joke. I've literally never seen that happen before.
I know. It's very weird.
I don't know. I've never seen that happen.
Hi there, I'm Chef Gemma Stafford and welcome to my test kitchen. This is where my team of experts and I have fun experimenting, problem solving, geeking out and answering a lot of baking questions, and you are a fly on the wall, so welcome in. We do a lot of fun things here. Today we're going to be experimenting with something that's a little bit different that I've never heard before, but we're going to try it out. Ami, come over here and tell us what we're doing today.
Hey, I just recently came across a recipe for no-bake cheesecake, but not the kind of no-bake cheesecake that we've normally done. It's actually cooked. It's a cooked filling on the stove like a custard, and I really like a cooked cheesecake. But it gets hot in the summer, so I thought this might be a really interesting idea if it works.
Yeah, no gelatin. There's an egg involved on the stovetop. I've never heard of it, like I said. I think it's going to be fun. We'll see what happens. I have, if pizza bowl goes wrong, I have a solution to rescue it, I think.
Looking at the list of ingredients we were even talking about earlier, like how do we even mix this together on the stove? In terms of mixing it together, I think I was wondering, do we want to cook the egg and the cream first with the sugar and then mix it into the cream cheese?
Yeah, I think we heat up the majority of ingredients first: cream cheese, cream, sugar. Lastly, add in the egg and the vanilla. That's my personal thought, because once that egg goes in there, it's kind of game over. You don't have a lot of time.
Right, okay, and then we're gonna like temper the egg a little bit so it doesn't, okay. And then should we strain it all the way we would a custard before we put it in?
It's not in the recipe, but I personally think you should. To usually egg whites they cook, and I think we should.
Okay, so we've got all our ingredients measured out, and so let's head over to the stove.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are. I'm gonna just turn my stove on to medium low, and I'm gonna get going with my ingredients. I've got cream, and to that I'm gonna add cornstarch, sugar, and I'm just gonna get that all nice and smooth. Just make sure that cornstarch doesn't get lumpy. All right, now once that looks like it's smooth and incorporated, I'm gonna add in the cream cheese. And I'm gonna let all this heat up.
I mean, where'd you get the idea for this?
You know, I've always been curious about cooking a cheesecake filling over the stove, mostly because there's always these issues with cooking cheesecake filling. You don't want to have cracks in your cheesecake. Do you use a water bath? I thought, we cook a lot of custards on the stove. Why wouldn't it work? All right, so this cream cheese looks like it's softening up. One thing I'm noticing is that this is going to be a fairly small filling comparatively to most cheesecakes baked in the oven. I'm going to switch this to a bigger bowl so I can temper it a bit. I'm going to just add this slowly. And I want to make sure that the egg is nice and beaten into some of this cream cheese mixture before I move it back into the pot so that nothing curdles. All right, so that's nice and smooth. I'm going to take that back to the stove. I'm going to slowly incorporate that in. And now at this point, I'm going to stir pretty constantly. It looks nice and smooth. It's not, the egg's going to take a few minutes to cook. Now that I've incorporated the eggs on lower heat, I think I'm going to bring the temperature back up to a medium low. And I'm going to switch over to my spatula, my rubber spatula, so I can really keep cleaning off the sides, because where the egg is going to cook fastest is where it's hot against the pot. The other thing I'm going to do is I've got a crust here, this beautiful crust that Gemma made for me, and I'm going to put a strainer right over that so that when it seems like this is thickening and ready to go, I'm going to pour this whole custard through a sieve. So this is looking fairly cooked to me. Now, one of the challenges is with a regular custard, you see that it thickens up, and so you really know that your egg is cooked, whereas we've got the cream cheese incorporated in here, so it's already thick. So it is clearing the sides of the bowl and holding together, so and it's bubbling a little bit, so I'm guessing that the egg is cooked and the cornstarch is cooked. Usually the signs are when you're cooking a custard and you're using egg and cornstarch, you go from a liquid to a fairly thick filling. Because we've got the cream cheese in here, it's already pretty thick. I would say this is almost like a mayonnaise consistency. So I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna actually push this through into a bowl so I can stir in the vanilla. Stir in the vanilla. This is already looking pretty nice and thick. Well, this is not a lot of filling to crust ratio. I kind of feel like we could double this or triple it. Yeah, this is a very simple amount of filling. There it is. Here's our stovetop cooked cheesecake. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of filling in here, but we're gonna get it in the fridge. We're gonna let it set for a few hours and we're gonna cut into it and have a look and a taste. Okay, here it is. I'm just gonna loosen the edge, make sure it's not stuck. Okay.
Oh, it's a baby cheesecake.
I knew when we were mixing it together, I was like, it's kind of like a tart. This is the skinny cheesecake. Shall we?
You're gonna have to give me half of it if it's gonna be that skinny.
No, yeah, go for it. Okay. Alright, so it's like all crust. This is a crust lover's cheesecake.
My favorite type of cheesecake, all crust and crust.
No cheese. Right off the bat, you can see it's like way too thin. So I would say double or triple recipe. Maybe add a touch more sugar too. I just felt like the sweetness of the crust was overpowering compared to the cheesecake.
Agreed.
I kind of feel like taste-wise, it could be a little, like we could add a little lemon juice, like the way you normally do with cream cheese.
To brighten the flavor a
I
little
think
bit.
so. It'll bring out a little bit of the tang, and then this texture makes me think we definitely don't need the cornstarch. And I think we're going to change up the mixing method. I think we're going to. I was a little concerned that the eggs weren't cooking in the filling because the whole thing was so thick. It was really hard for me to see it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to cook the eggs with the cream and the sugar first.
Okay.
And then stir it into a softened cream cheese.
Yeah, I get it. That's interesting.
All right, so we're going to do all those things and see if it works out.
Welcome to day 2 of our cheesecake test kitchen. And we've made some progress.
Okay, so we decided after the first time we tripled all the ingredients and we put it together, and then it turns out that it wasn't as easy as we would have thought. We had some problems with it. It was overly dense, and if you can see over here, it didn't really hold very well. It's a little soft, it's not really setting, and if it stays out of the fridge a little too long, we think it's just gonna fall over.
Yeah, for round 3, we decided to cut back on the cream cheese.
We didn't want to cut back on the cream, just the cream cheese, but then we thought we might run into the same setting issues. But we also know that acid, like lemon juice, can set cream cheese if you're familiar with a posset or with homemade cream cheese. And so what we decided to do was increase the lemon juice. So we've added a lot more lemon juice to help set the cream. We have a triple amount of cream, but just doubled on the cream cheese. All right, so here we are, unmolding our third attempt at Stovetop Cheesecake.
I'm already very optimistic about this.
Well, you know,
Look how lovely it looks.
You know, it looks okay. I think sometimes I'm worried that the whole thing's gonna fall over, and
I really want to poke it. Can I poke it?
still looks pretty soft. Holding together.
Let's have a little tasty taste. Oh, it's good. Flavor's spot on.
It's really good.
It's perfect. 5 stars for flavor.
So I have to say the extra lemon juice doesn't really make it taste overly lemony. It seems appropriately tangy for cheesecake.
Yummy.
I think the pulling back on the cream cheese was right.
I think if somebody handed that to me, I'd be like, this is cheesecake. And they just need to add a little bit more something to set it. The question we have is, can you make a cheesecake on the stovetop? And my answer is yes.
Yes, you can.
You can.
You can.
This is what you're going to get. In the world of cheesecakes, what would you rate that cheesecake, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest?
Say like a 7, 8.
I would say, to me, in the world of cheesecakes, I'm going to say 6 out of 10. I actually really like it. Yeah, that's a real compliment, is it? I actually really like it.
So, we started this out wondering if you could make a stovetop cheesecake, and it turns out you can.
Yay, best thing ever. Another easy way to make cheesecake.
Yeah.
Recipe is in the description box. Give it a try. Ami, let us know what is for the next for us in our test kitchen.
Well, I make a lot of cakes, and I've been really wondering about egg substitutes, and specifically which egg substitutes are going to work best for a pound cake.
I was wondering about our mochi recipe heading into the summer. Lots of people say that it freezes very hard, and I do know that there's some easy solutions. We can tweak the recipe a little bit and make the results even better. So those are our suggestions. Let us know in the comments below which one of those you'd like to see, or if you'd like to see something else. And we'll see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye. I want more of this. It reminds me of my mom's cheesecake. I'm talking the cheesecake. Whoa!